The smoke smell out here is still pretty strong, and it is easy to see why, because there's nothing but sky above these apartments. Part of the roof you can see is hanging down there. About a dozen FBI agents have been gone back and forth on that driveway throughout the day. They packed up about an hour and a half ago. They collected bags of evidence. We were the first on the scene here this afternoon. We got here as police were putting up this crime scene tape, and 6 hours later, the detectives are still inside that townhome here off of Townwood Court. Police found the victim shot to death inside that townhome. It is a packable heavy snow, enough you can make a snowball from, and it continues to come down here. This should be a golf course. That should be a fairway. Instead, Boggs allegedly shot that money on personal expenses, including food, clothes, gifts, and travel. Fresh off the presses, this is the big bracket T here with the big word in orange, champions. It's a word that UVA is not too familiar with. The last time they could wear this word was 1976. That's why you see this word champions everywhere. Officer Thornton grabbed a t-shirt. He wrapped up the baby in it. He made sure she was breathing and crying. Then he went to his own patrol car. He got a flashlight out and used the lanyard to wrap around the umbilical cord and cut it off. Inspectors say as you're walking around your house, check for things like cracks in the chimney and places where it may have pulled apart from the house. Also look for shifting in the foundation. Inside, your floor will feel spongy. The AP has called this race for Robert Hurt, and again, they are closely watching those numbers up there. They've got the numbers posted too, watching them as we come in county by county. One man stabbed inside this home at 1220 West Beverly. You can see police are still out here. You may be able to hear right now, there's actually, I don't know, Chavis, our photographer, I don't know if we can pan up to the sky right now. There is actually a helicopter. But you know what? I don't think any of them really can compare to the costume we have here. Our intern Taylor actually provided this for me here. What do you guys think? This storm, when it rolled through here, tore this house apart so much, there are pieces of it down here about 100 feet or so away.
The aftermath is tonight's top story. NBC 29's Matt Talhelm is live on the scene. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Steve. 7 hours later, the smoke smell out here is still pretty strong, and it is easy to see why, because there's nothing but sky above these apartments. Part of the roof you can see is hanging down there. It is all burnt. The city's fire chief believes that this blaze started there in the corner, quickly spread from 1, 2, jumping over a concrete wall to a third apartment. Everyone that was inside here rushed to get out as fire crews rushed to the scene. All Hazel Johnson could do Wednesday afternoon was watch as Waynesboro firefighters doused the flames tearing through her second-story Parker Heights apartment.
I'm in the top of right there where that flame is coming out.
Johnson jokes that she's the building's oldest resident in age and in time. She's lived here longer than anyone else, more than 25 years, and she thought it was just a joke when she heard shouting in the hall.
Somebody just come running up the steps and said, "Everybody get out, the rafters is on fire."
Johnson grabbed just her purse and ran.
When I came out, all I saw was smoke just bellowing up. And then a little while the flames started coming.
Out of 8 apartments in the building, 2 are for rent, with no one inside when the blaze broke out around 4. Everyone who was at home got out safely.
We were very fortunate that all residents were out of the building upon our arrival.
Firefighters battled the blaze from the ground and above in a ladder truck, shooting water at the flames from every angle.
Watering a lot of people. Quite honestly, just watering a lot of people.
The fire was under control after about 45 minutes, but the damage was done.
This side is not livable, but the possessions are certainly salvageable.
Jackie Williams hopes to save some memories from apartment number 13.
Maybe it is a lucky 13.
She was coming home from work when she saw the smoke and followed emergency crews right up to her front door.
I was panicked. I was panicked at first, but then after I called my daughter, I calmed down a little bit.
The hugs helped, and surrounded by her family and neighbors, Williams looks at her losses and says it's just stuff.
That's what my daughter says. She said, "Mom, you're alive, the kids are alive, we're all alive," so she said, "We'll start over."
Now, Johnson lives in the apartment you're looking at through the window there. There is heavy fire and smoke damage as well as water damage from fighting this fire in that apartment. and Williams lives in the apartment on the ground floor right below it. The Red Cross did come out here to provide services, supplies, anything that these folks need, and to offer them a place to stay for the night, but most of them say they will be staying with family for what will probably be many nights. The fire chief is still investigating to try to figure out an exact cause of the blaze. A Shenandoah Valley strongman competitor has beaten the odds and the decades. This muscled athlete pulled through a 2-year battle with cancer, pumped up to survive a struggle with obesity, and now is proving you only get stronger with age.
135 pounds, and we rep it out as long as we can.
Pumping up the pounds
50 pounds for reps of 8s.
means everything to this powerlifting lady.
We usually pick up a car, so we practice our deadlifts. 375 for reps of 5s and 3s.
But age is just a number.
I'm 56 years old.
It's tough to believe.
I was never an athlete whatsoever.
Strong woman Mary Jacobson began bulking up after a battle with cancer pushed her to pump up.
The third doctor says, stop. You can't hide anymore. You do have cancer, and we have to take care of this today.
Mary had adenocarcinoma, rare when doctors diagnosed her in 1995. The aggressive cancer attacked the tissue of her uterus.
They told me I only had a 10% chance of making it.
Mary signed her life away for surgical research at a military hospital in California. She spent 2 years in a coma. For 2 years, doctors pumped Mary with experimental drugs, steroids, growth hormones that caused her to gain 150 pounds.
By growing, they were keeping me alive. The cells were operating.
A survivor, Mary faced a new battle with weight, so she started working out 2 to 3 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Somehow I got an addiction that I'm losing the weight, looking good.
She hasn't stopped in 11 years. Mary's attempted to pull a plane and is the only woman to tug a train, all to raise money for nonprofits across the country.
The challenging part is that I've been able to be successful at it, and at the same time I've decided to do something for mankind and for other people.
Mary's boyfriend Ed Martin is one of those people.
She's the one that showed me that it can be done.
He was diagnosed with prostate cancer last fall.
I said, I'm going to stand by you, I'm not going to give up, and we're going to work this out.
As big as she is, I listen to her.
Ed says following Mary's strict diet and workout routine have gotten him through cancer treatments without the side effects doctors told him he'd experience.
I haven't had the first symptom of anything they have told me, and I give credit to Mary.
She won't let him give up on gym time.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday winds up to be 5 hours.
Mary hopes her story can inspire other cancer patients that a diagnosis is not a death sentence.
It's not too late. Just because you're 20 or 66 or 99, it's never too late.
Mary came in second out of 6 women at a strongman challenge in Northern Virginia yesterday. Next weekend, she's headed to Philadelphia for a big competition there. You can see much more, an extended interview with Mary coming up in just a few hours on our website by clicking on this story at NBC29.com.
Tonight, the owner of the pit bull that killed the Louisa County Sheriff's canine says his dog was only trying to protect his property.
The pit bull's owner is telling NBC29 his dog Coco is not vicious or dangerous, and he's worried about what will happen to his pet next. That is where NBC29's Matt Talhelm picks up tonight's top story. He's live in our Charlottesville newsroom. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Sharon and Steve. That pit bull's owner could face criminal charges, and if the sheriff's office has it their way, that dog will be declared vicious and could be put down for taking the life of one of their officers.
This is his tree. He loves this tree.
Alfred Bennett misses his pet pit bull Coco.
And Coco is a very good dog, man. He doesn't bite anybody. We have never had any problems out of him.
Animal control officers took the 4-year-old pit bull from this dog house and put him behind bars at Louisa County Animal Shelter.
I'm thinking that I might never see my dog again.
Coco broke free from a brand new harness, snapping the chain.
This is the O-ring that it broke off.
And attacked Sheriff's Office K-9 Maggie.
It was a strange animal to him, you know, it was on his territory.
Sheriff's deputies had Maggie out here in this field off Courthouse Road trying to track a suicidal man. It was Saturday, 2 a.m. This field was pitch black. That's when they say out of nowhere the pit bull came running up, attacked Maggie, knocked her over, and started biting several times.
It took 2 deputies to pull the pit bull off, and
Maggie's handler, Lieutenant Patrick Sheridan, tells NBC 29 that his four-legged crime-fighting partner suffered puncture wounds, tissue, and muscle damage. The 6-year veteran of the force died Monday of an infection brought on by Coco's bites.
It's just like losing an officer.
Coco chewed through this cage on his first night at the shelter. Now the sheriff's office plans to petition a judge to declare the pit bull vicious.
If the dog is capable of doing this and has already shown a history of doing this, that it's very capable of doing it again.
He'll eat out the palm of your hand.
Bennett's expressing his sincerest apologies to Lieutenant Sheridan and the sheriff's office as they mourn Maggie.
It's just unfortunate, you know, it's just, words can't express just how I feel.
But he's pleading to have the pet he loves returned before it's too late.
The only thing I've been told is that I'm either going to jail or they're going to euthanize my dog.
Sheriff's office says this is a case of irresponsible pet ownership. Bennett admits that Coco has gotten loose before and that sheriff's deputies actually had to bring Coco back to him one time after roaming free. The sheriff's office says that it is also currently planning a memorial service for Officer Maggie.
Okay, Matt Talhelm live in our Charlottesville news.